Mellon, Lester Goodwin, Wayne Boyce, Simon King, Mark Stubberfield and Nick Harbour. Team manager, as I mentioned, was Donnelly Amos, ably assisted by Hilton Woodrow, the vice chairman of the South Eastern Centre. It was no mean achievement at all. It takes a lot of doing, takes a lot of organisation, and I think it's only appropriate they do come around and receive your congratulations. Start of the afternoon's racing. I can see that Chris Tritton has completely missed the start, so a disastrous start of the afternoon for him. But already going into the lead, going into that first corner, is number 14, Humphries. This is problem for Malcolm Smith as he pulls up on the outside of the first bend, but anxiously watching for Chris Tritton to perhaps come through. That was a disastrous start for him. He's back in fourth place, but he really has been going well of late. And he's got a lot of work to do now to try and catch Ian Humphries, who's setting quite a lead on second place rider Tommy Palmer. Tommy going well in second spot at the moment. There is quite a gap opening up between him and first place, though, Ian Humphries. Ian looking well and truly in control. I can see, I'm desperately keeping my eyes on Chris Tritton, though. He's the rider in fourth place, just moving through now into third place. It's number 12, Stuart Dempsey, that he's fighting with. And it looks as if he didn't make it that time, but now he goes by on the back straight. He's got himself up into third spot. Ian Humphries still in, then Tommy Palmer still in second as they go into their last lap. And Chris Tritton now starting to make his move. He's got up into third place and looks to be closing down on Tommy Palmer already. Well, there he goes, around the outside. He's following the line of Tommy Palmer. This is where he was quicker, you remember, going up the back straight when he took Stuart Dempsey. It looks as if he's going to leave it to the last bend. The checker flag we see the first of this afternoon going to Ian Humphries. And who's it going to be for second? Because this is going to be close to the line. It looks as if Tommy Palmer might have held on, but that was a close one on the line because Chris Tritton left his move right to the very last minute. 129.61, 129.61, 14, 3, 21, 12, 06, 27, 22 and 2. And we're already underway with the second race of the afternoon. As you can see, we've got a blistering start to this one. And looks like Jason Hilliard, and on the inside I can see number 75, Duncan Tolhurst. Well, it is 47, Jason Hilliard that's made the best of that first bend. Duncan Tolhurst is up into second. Julian Phipps is the rider in third place at the moment, but he's got a battle on to try and keep that third place position. I can see Kevin Buck moving around the outside of him, going up that back straight. That's the red leathers of Kevin Buck, but he's not going to get it all his own way, so he's going to have to fight for that position. Jason Hilliard, though, away from the rest of the field. Duncan Tolhurst on his own in second place. Got a real scrap going on for this third place. Kevin Buck on the outside. Number 73, Julian Phipps, is the rider on what was the inside, but you can see he's now dropped back to fourth place. And he's going to have trouble hanging on to that if he's not careful, because you can see, well, there's problems for Jason Hilliard on the far side as well. He puts his hand in the air and slows up going into that top bend. It means that Duncan Tolhurst takes over as they go into the last lap. Duncan Tolhurst leading then from Kevin Buck in second. Julian Phipps still there in third. Steve Wilson has now moved through, oh sorry, that's Luke Dodd. I was looking at 215 without looking at the rider's name. Oh, Luke Dodd it is indeed. Let's move up into fourth place, number 215. As we look across that far side, I can see that disastrous problems. Well, indeed, Duncan Tolhurst has slowed now on that last bend. It means that Kevin Buck is the eventual winner. Number 73, Julian Phipps, finishes in second. Luke Dodd finishes in third. And Duncan Tolhurst coasting towards the line, hoping to get a finishing position. Well, race 2 this afternoon, fraught with disaster for the leading riders. At 7th place, 145, 8th, number 55, 9th, 23, and 10th place, number 74. The winning time, 132.12, 132.12 the time, 327, 73, 215, 188, 212, 62, 145 and 55, 23 and 74. Well, we're underway with race 3, and as we look to that far side going into the first bend, we've got one rider certainly getting away from the rest of them. And it is Rob Ledwith. So great to see Rob back out there again. He leads going past us. He's got a gaggle of riders in second place at the moment. Graeme Gordon looks to have made the best of that, number 263. Oh, you can see that it's misprinted in the programme. I can assure you that is Graeme Gordon, number 263. And talked this morning that he was possibly one of the most frantic riders today. He's come all the way up from Hale in Cornwall. He's a very, very good, strong young rider, and indeed there's a lot of those coming out of Cornwall at the moment. Another rider that I've been impressed with over the last few weeks is James Cawtheray. He's the rider in third place at the moment, number 169. But great to see Rob Ledwith back again, and look at the sort of form. He's going very, very wide on that top bend, testing the full width of the circuit as he flies into his last lap. Graeme not being able to close on him at all. He indeed has got quite a margin on third place, number 169, James Cawtheray. And as they start to catch up with the tail end, it's getting difficult to know who's who at the moment, but I can assure you, the rider in the pink helmet coming off that last bend in tremendous style, taking the checker flag, is number 39, Rob Ledwith. In second place, number 263, Graeme Gordon. So I'm anxious to see looking for third place, James Cawtheray. He's slowing coming to the line, but he doesn't get to third place. Fourth place, number 174, Robin Pilcher. And a chance to see an action rustling in the first one. John Horsey, Rob Heath, Mick Cave, Shane Baker. And it is indeed Shane Baker that's got away from that start line and got into that first bend. Mick Cave goes after him in second. I can see rustling back in third place, and there's problems for Shane Baker as he spins off in the middle of the bend. That looks like mechanical failure to me, the way that Shane Baker slowed up so quickly then. And I can see that John Horsey had problems as well, so he's up right at the back of the field. But Mick Cave and Mick Stace it is that lead at the moment. They've got rustling breathing down the exhaust pipes. Tim Bennett is up in third place. Interesting to see another one of those speedway style outfits in the hands of number 8 Rob Heath and Dean Bartholomew. Well, this was the sort of circuit that proved very, very successful for the speedway style outfits. You remember back to the big competitions we had here last year when we had some of the Australians over. They said that they enjoyed this circuit the most they'd ever ridden all through the year. Mick Cave and Mick Stace in good form at the moment. Rustling still there in second place. Tim Bennett still holding third, but John Horsey's closing up on all of them at the back of the field. Watch for number 13 in the yellow leathers. He might take both those two in front of him together, but you can see number 8, Rob Heath, moving through on the inside of Tim Bennett. A good battle going on for that third place, as indeed we go into the last lap with Mick Cave and Mick Stace leading. Rustling still there in second place, but a good scrap this for this third place. Rob Heath obviously holding a much tighter lines on that speedway style outfit. You can see John Horsey trying to get through the gaps as well. Well, Tim Bennett looks good coming out of the bends though. He's fast down that back straight. So this certainly could be a battle to the line as we see Mick Cave and Mick Stace win the first of the Sidecars. Rustling gets to second place first time out this afternoon, and this battle for third is going to be won by Tim Bennett, but only just. Number 5, Mick Cave and Mick Stace. In second place, number 6, Rustling and Paul Urycz. In third place, number 12, Tim Bennett, and fourth place, number 8. Fifth place, number 13, the winning time, 146.10. 146.10 the time, 5, 6, 12, 8 and 13. First time this afternoon, they're joined by not Richard Brown. Number 38 is in fact Steve Bassett, passenger by Pete Bassett. 112, Rick Colvin, Nicola Colvin. Dave Penfold comes to the line, Darren Bartholomew and Jeff Sims. Our starter eventually happy that everybody was in a fair position to make the start, and it is Rob Wilson and Vince Jones that get away from that start line. Well, this could be a good scrap for second place again, though. It's blows on that second place, but Rob Wilson and Vince Jones get away comfortably around that first bend, and they've already opened up quite a margin on second place at the moment as we watch to see what happens going into the pit bend for the first time. I can see Dave Penfold pushing hard for that second place. He's third at the moment. It is Steve Bassett and Pete Bassett that are holding second. 1, 2, 3, Dave Penfold and Tony Hayes at third place at the moment. They were pushing hard for that second in the pit bend. No question about Rob Wilson and Vince Jones though. They really have built themselves a comfortable lead already after just 2 laps. Now, we've seen Rob Wilson in the past have some very good results on this very, very quick Tunbridge circuit. Was noticed with intrigue this morning that I was told Steve Bassett and Pete Bassett were riding together. I thought Pete was passenger with found out later it's actually Pete Watkins that's riding with Tim Bennett. And an interesting combination with Steve and Pete out there together. It looked to be going well though on Richard Brown's outfit. Well, I'm going to be watching with interest the time that Rob Wilson puts up, because he looks to be having some very, very smooth rides. I'm sure he's aware, or been made aware by Vince Jones, that he has got that comfortable lead, but he doesn't look to be shutting off at all. He looks to be just trying to find his best possible line. And that's exactly the right thing to do in the early races. When you've got that much margin, just try and find where you're the quickest on the circuit. Well, Steve Bassett gets second place. Dave Penfold gets third. There's no question about the leader, of course. The winner, actually in race 5, number 24. Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. Vince Jones in second place, number 38. Steve Bassett and Pete Bassett. Third place, number 123, Dave Penfold and Tony Hayford. Fourth place, number 112. Fifth place, number 33. And sixth place, number 28. The winning time, 141.01, 141.01, 24, 38, 123, 112, 33 and 28. Race 6 already on the line. We can see that we've got one outfit left on the line, but no question about the leader as they come past me. It is number 51, Roger Measor and Shane Lapham. All starting to close up that second place. It was indeed Andy Norris that had problems on the line. He looks to be having problems all the way round. But no problems for Roger Measor and Shane Lapham, as they indeed come round off that pit bend for the first time. Time to look over their shoulders, see how close any competition is. Well, it's Rob Wilson Jr. and Will Jones that are holding second at the moment. From number 77, Bill Beecham and Jimmy Goodall. As they go down that back straight, quite an incredible lead that Roger Measor has opened up already. So again, all we can anxiously do is watch to see what sort of time Roger Measor puts up. Rob Wilson's the fastest so far from the sidecars. Disappointing starts of the day for Andy Norris and Eddie Elvis. See, they pulled off in the second circuit. Not quite sure what the problem is. No problems at all for Roger Measor as he comes round this time to take his last lap flag. His first outing of the afternoon. He's certainly picked up some good results down here at this Tunbridge circuit over the years. As he commented to me this morning, he certainly knows his way around this circuit. Penny Hook and James McLaren back in fourth place at the moment. But this one really starting to get spread out. As we see the checker flag being made ready for Roger Measor to come round, he picks up his first win of the afternoon. Roger Measor and Shane Lapham, the winners of race 6, followed home in second by number 25, Rob Wilson Jr. and Will Jones. In third, we've got number 77, Bill Beecham and Jimmy Goodall. Car races, a win for number 51, Roger Measor and Shane Lapham. In second place, number 25, Rob Wilson and Will Jones. In third place, number 77, Bill Beecham and Jimmy Goodall. Fourth place, number 34, Penny Hook and James McLaren. And fifth place, number 74. The winning time, as I say, the fastest of those three sidecar races, 140.40. 140.40 the time. It was 51, 25, 77, 34 and 74. Well, I must remember to look through my programme properly, because I thought we hadn't seen all the sidecars. Of course, we see another two of the Leg 1 races in races 9 and 10, but for the moment we turn our attention to the 250s. And interesting to see whether John Dormer is going to problem sorted out. Looking at the hands in practice, John was only able to make that first straight, and he was then picking up mechanical problems. 3 times we saw him push the bike back to the pits during practice. It does look as if he's got those problems sorted out as he streaks away from the rest of the field. Tommy Palmer back in second place at the moment. We've already seen him in action in the Open 500cc classes. But no question about this leader, John Dormer. Arguably the most unfortunate rider at the British Championships this year. John Dormer was not able to compete in his first ride. He was a faller when the race was stopped. He wasn't able to make the rerun, and arguably he would have been a strong contender for the 250 cycle. But we watch to see what happens today, because again he's looking down at machinery. As I say, we know he had problems here. In fact, Tommy Palmer's got problems as well. He slows as he comes faster. It means that number 48. There is indeed Brian Cornelius moves up to second place, and John Dormer has slowed on the far side. John Dormer obviously not having a good run at the moment. He pulls up on the far side. As I say, we know he had problems in practice. We thought that perhaps he got them sorted the way he was leading that race. But with Tommy Palmer packing up and now John Dormer packing up, it means that Brian Cornelius takes the checkered flag. The first of the 250 races. Roy Dunn finishing in second. But we're certainly getting our fair share of mechanical problems this afternoon, aren't we? He's a win for number 48, Brian Cornelius. Second place, number 36, Roy Gom. Third place, number 37, Michael Peters. And fourth place, number 71. Fifth place, number 46. Sixth place, number 30. Seventh place, number 127. Eighth place, 433. Ninth place, 54. And 10th place, 20. The winning time, 139.24. 139.24 the time. And a win, the first of the 250s for Brian Cornelius, number 48. As we look across the far side, we see that race 8, the second of the 250 races, gets underway. And looking for them as they go into that first bend. They come past me for the first time. It wasn't the Mark Bunker that had got to the front. He's now been relegated back to third place. Like Ian Lee Amerson has problems on that bottom bend for what was our new leader. It's number 176, Adrian Phipps. Well, as he puts it down on the bottom bend, the piece of city is up and underway again. So we'll keep our eyes on him. Make up for that mistake. There's then Ian Lee Amerson leading nose from the early leader, Mark Bunting. Dave Mears up in third place, obviously hoping to do well on his 350 this afternoon. He was booked to ride a 250 as well, but pulled out of that class, so concentrating on the 350. But Ian Lee Amos setting a pace at the moment as he goes into his last lap in race 8. Still there in second place is Mark Bunting. Dave Mears holding that third place, but under pressure from number 34, who was one of our reserves that came in, Sean Neal. No question about Ian Lee Amos getting away from the rest of the field. He sees the checker flag being made ready for him, and he collects it this time as he goes by us. Picks the wheel in the air. A good win to start the afternoon off for Ian Lee Amos. Well, Mark Bunting decides to connect with one of our cones, finishes in second. Dave Mears hanging on to that third place. See a few sidecars short in this one, but it still should be some good action, because we've got Nevill, Penfold and Paul Randall out there, as well as Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones. Well, it is those two that get to the front, Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones, and Nevill Penfold slowing on that far side. Well, I expected to see these two very close together, because Paul Randall certainly has been in very good form of late. The only other outfit we've got out there, number 99, is Trevor Colvin and Clive Miles. Well, perhaps Ivor Matthews showing us exactly why he's leading the Masters Championships. Of course, it was down here that we had the first round of the Masters, and Ivor Matthews goes into that second round next week with the most points. Nevill Penfold and Paul Randall really with no answer to him at the moment. Because really Trevor Colvin and Clive Miles have lost contact with Nevill Penfold as well. Only 3 outfits unfortunately out there, and they really have spread themselves out as they go into the last lap. Well, I'm sure as Ivor Matthews looks over his shoulder, he can't quite believe the gap that he's built up on Nevill Penfold and Paul Randall. They do look to be taking it very, very casually, so perhaps they're content with the second place for their first outing, and have realised they've perhaps undergeared or put the wrong tyres on. You never know. As Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones come round off that bottom bend, enjoying a checkered flag for their first outing. Nevill Penfold and Paul Randall get that second place. That's outfit number 2. I might even attempt to lap score this one myself, because I think I can just about put 99 in there as third place. One thing I can't do is guess the time. Indeed, it does look as if the start is letting the rest of the field go. So it means once again we've only got 3 outfits going as Dave Steer sets the pace as he comes past us. Roy Spreadbury goes into second. Roy Spreadbury this year. Got used to seeing him with passenger Ken Spreadbury, but now Steve Kensington stepped in the chair. And Dave Steer and Andy Orchard getting away from Roy Spreadbury in second place. And a great shame not to see Sean Pittigan in this one. He's really been going very, very well. Do I hear that they've eventually got that bike started? That doesn't sound too healthy to me as he goes past me. I think they've managed to get one cylinder going into that V-twin. I'm sure he's hoping that the second one's going to cut in. But as they come past us for the second time, Dave Steer and Andy Orchard not having too much problem at all, staying out in front. Roy Spreadbury and Steve Kensington still back there in second place. Number 16, Mark Urycz and Rob Urycz still holding third place, and I can see that Sean Pittigan's veered off towards the pit, so he's obviously not happy with that, the way the engine's running. Well, there was talk earlier on in the season that Dave Steer was going to be selling his bike, and he's been getting some late entries just recently because he hasn't actually sold that outfit. But it's good to see him in this sort of form, and we hope that he does continue. He picks up a checker flag for his first outing this afternoon. Roy Spreadbury and Steve Kensington come round a long way back in second place. And number 16, Mark Urycz and Rob Urycz. First of the 350s on the line. I say on the line, it looks as if we've got them underway. So look across that far side, that looks to me like Dave Mears has got to the bend first, pursued by Mitchell Godden in second place. We'll watch them come round. Dave Mears seems to get the lead on Mitchell Godden as they go past us for the first time. Phil Roger up in third place. And looking down through that field, we know we had Keith Potts in the pits as a reserve. It doesn't look as if he's managed to get a ride. But it means that we've got a battle on now between Dave Mears and Mitchell Godden. Duncan in fourth place, trying to close up on our third place, number 16, Phil Roger. There's Cawtheray now catching up because you can see that Jonathan Duke has gone out in that third spot. So James Cawtheray elevated up to fourth place. As we see, the last lap plan goes forward. Mitchell Godden still there in second. 16 Phil Roger still holding third, and James Cawtheray now up fourth place. That looks to be in danger as they go into that bottom bend. I thought for a moment that Mitchell Godden was closing on Dave Mears going round that pit bend. Davies opening up as he goes up that back straight. You can see the checker flag, the first off the 350 checker flag. Great, you got it. A win for Davies. Third place, yeah. Indeed on the line was Phil Roger. Fourth place looking up forward. Of the 350 competition, a win for number 139, Mears. Second place, number 9, Mitchell Godden. Third place, number 16, Phil Roger. Fourth place, number 169, James Cawtheray. Fifth place, number 48. Sixth place, 17. Seventh place, 27. Eighth place, 71. Ninth place, 331. 10th place, 37. 11th place, 20. And 12th place, number 25. The winning time, 128.02. 128.02 the time. And as I say, the first of the 350. It was won by number 139, Mears. The first of the left-hand sidecars this afternoon. And they're very quickly underway and down that back straight. Well, it is indeed 108 miles. If I say that, you can see that number 24, Tom Penfold and Bob Ager are trying to get on the inside of them. Well, Bill Penfold, the man that's been picking up most of the trophies of late, in third place at the moment. And quite a gap opened up between him and second. No question about the speed of Bob Miles and Liam Shivers. Very, very wide there. Well, Tom Penfold trying to get through on the inside. Well, we're anxiously watching to see whether Bill Penfold can start to close that gap, because those front two outfits really have got away from Bill Penfold and Terry Patchell, who's the rider in fourth place at the moment. A good scrap going on at the front there, because you can see again Bob Miles. Well, he looks to be going wide. Tom Penfold has definitely got a much tighter line coming out of that top end. Well, he keys him up again. As you can see, Tom Penfold has a habit of going in slightly wider. It means he drives harder and tighter coming out of the bend. So this is going to be interesting to watch when they go around that last bend, because Bob Miles will be conscious of the fact that he's been drifting wide on this top bend. He knows that Tom Penfold is cornering harder than him. And again the same thing happens. Tom Penfold goes to the inside line. It's a race to the line. But Bob Miles just about gets it, with Liam Chivers in the chair, of course. And the second place will go to number 24, Tom Penfold. And Liam Chivers. In second place, number 24, Tom Penfold and Bob Ager. In third place, number 2, Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw. Fourth place, number 188. Fifth place, 151. Sixth place, 217. And the winning time, 135.12.
Humphries.
Well, as we look across that far side, it's race 13. It's the second of the left-hand sidecars. Their first leg, of course, same as the other competitions. Starting off with George Penfold leading, but Luke Patchell driving in hard as he goes into the bend. He really does corner very, very hard, Luke Patchell. And he seems to have got the better of George Penfold. George turning his hand to left-hand sidecars. Of course, I think George has had a go at most forms of motorsport on Grasstrack. He's had a go at But 808 Luke Patchell and Julian Browning setting the pace. George Penfold still hanging on to that second spot, but they're under pressure from Neil Cuff in third place at the moment. Well, Neil looks very, very quick going up that back straight. He dives into a gap that's been left by George Penfold. He's cornered very well though, George Penfold. You see, he's got that second place back. So we'll watch to see whether he'll let the same thing happen again, because he must be conscious that he left a gap going into that top bend. This is where Neil Cuff's very, very quick going up that back straight, and already he's got through. Well, we watch to see whether George Penfold can actually hold it tight as he did last time, because he'll come going out wide coming out of the bend. Second man goes to his back, he'll come to second. George Penfold gets third, and number 23, Billy Penfold and Carly Bell get fourth. Luke Patchell and Julian Browning. In second place, number 126, Neil Cuff and Martin Cuff. Third place, number 125, George Penfold. And in fourth place, number 23, fifth place, number 69. The winning time, 136.44. 136.44 is 8:08, 126, 125, 23 and 69. Well, we stay with the left-hand sidecars. As you can see, we've got the race underway already on the far side. That looks to me like John Arnott has got to the corner first. That is sidecar number 2. Well, again, you'll watch two different styles, because John Arnott traditionally goes wider on the bends, and John Fish dives in on the inside of him going into that pit bend. Leads going up that back straight. So John Fish, number 173, and Gary Moore got themselves to the front, and now they look to be Still in second place. Under pressure now for number 321, Steve Farmer and Peter Taylor. Well, that could be where the scrap's going to go on for that second place, because Steve Farmer goes very, very wide on that pit bend, and all sorts of problems for Steve Farmer. Exactly make the start, but he certainly looks to be putting his command on this race as they go round the pit bend for the last time. First outing, of course, this leg one. Always useful to get a nice win first time out. As we see that checker flag being made ready, it is going to be a win for John Fish. John Arnott hung on to that second place, and Steve Farmer has to be content with the third spot. Well, obviously you can see a little bit of water being put out there. Obviously the rider's being held on that start line, but obviously trying to keep the dust to a minimum so that your vision's not hindered at all. And the club making every effort to do that at the opportune times. As we go into race 15, interesting, if you've had a look at the programme, you'll see that Ian Humphries goes in this one, as well as Rob Ledwith. They both had wins first time out. As we look across that far side, I was just wondering whether Kevin Buck might appear in this one as well, because he's an additional rider of the programme. I don't think he does, but as we look to that first corner, is Rob Ledwith has got there. Dodd is up there in third place, and Graeme Gordon holding fourth place at the moment. While both Luke Dodd and Graeme Gordon had good rides first time out, so we watch to see whether they can close on those front two. But the man who set the fastest time and looked very, very confident indeed was Rob Ledwith. But he does look very, very quick, although he's not much wider. Ian Humphries doing much the same thing. Graeme Gordon now has got into that third place in front of Luke Dodd. I can see James Cawtheray back in fifth place at the moment, working his way through the field. The master's sensibly putting that yellow flag out to caution the riders that there's danger in the middle of the bend. But no problems for the rest of the field as they go round that top bend for last time. It's going to be number 2, literally touching that back wheel on the flag. Well inside the circuit. Ian Humphries still there in second. He gets a second place. Record goes to a win and a second spot, and Graeme Gordon picks up third place. The second leg rides a win for number 39, Rob Ledwith. In second place, number 14, Ian Humphries. Third place, number 263, Graeme Gordon. Fourth place, number 215. Fifth place, number 21. Sixth place, 174. 7th place 06, and 8th place 6, 9th place 145, and the winning time 124.22, 124.22, 39, 14, 263, 215, 21, 174, 06, 6 and 145. Well, away we go with race 16, looking across that far side. It looks as if Mark Harris has made a very good start. Up to the front of the field. Malcolm Smith is in 2nd place. Well, Malcolm of course didn't feature in the first ride. He got off the start, but he lost power going into that first bend and pulled off. But he's certainly got himself up to the front now as he's got in front of Mark Harris. As we saw Ledwith do. Mark Harris still there in 2nd. Mark Ferry's rider up in 3rd place. Chris Dodd's in 4th. Mark Harris is not careful, he's going to be caught for that 2nd place. You're going to see Mark Ferry moving around the outside of him. Look at the style of Malcolm Smith. About that nice track. Well, we wonder if Malcolm's going to give Rob Ledwith a challenge later in the day. He's going very well at the moment. Mark Harris looks to have got that 2nd place back again. Didn't notice the change that went on there because I was watching the start of those outside markers. But he picks up a checkered flag. Mark Harris gets 2nd. Mark Ferry finishes in 3rd. So disappointing that. His first ride. So he could be right up there with the leaders. We hope he can do enough from 2 rides. And qualify for the final. Over the page we go, and we move to race 17. A reminder there not to miss the International Bonfire Burnup. That, of course, this year is on the 7th of November. A fabulous occasion. If you've ever been to one before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you ought to be down here on the 7th of November this year, because it really is a fabulous event. Well, let's concentrate on the race we've got in hand, because this one looks to be a cracker as Kevin Buck's on the outside of 4 riders going all the way round the outside. Chris Tritton I thought was coming through as well, but he's dropped back into 4th place. Stuart Dempsey is the rider in 2nd at the moment, but Kevin Buck, who had a win first time out, looking to show us that that was no maybe there's a lot of the riders are finding it getting more grip by going wide and picking up a bit of the loose. There's a lot of the very quick riders have definitely decided to go very, very wide on this top bend particularly. Again, you can see that Kevin Buck has gone for the loose on the outside. Stuart Dempsey is following it this time. I've made a mistake there with those red leathers. It's Chris Tritton that's moved up in 2nd. And Chris Tritton getting faster as the race goes on, starts putting pressure on Kevin Buck. Watch on that far side as Chris Tritton starts to close up on Kevin Buck. He follows Chris Tritton wide. He does pull it in a bit tiny coming out of the bend. At the top of the line, it's going to be a 2nd move for Kevin Buck. Chris Tritton gets 2nd, Stuart Dempsey in 3rd, and number 73 picking up 4th place. Number 3, Chris Tritton. 3rd place, number 12, Stuart Dempsey. 4th place, number 73. 5th place, number 74. 6th place, number 555. 7th place, 212. 8th place, 22. 9th place, 501. And the winning time, 128.11. 128.11. 327, 3, 12, 73, 74, 555, 212, 22 and 501.
Classic, this one.
as we move into the second leg of the sidecars, race 18, a chance to see in action once again Roger Measor, but this time he's out with another one that had a win from the first leg, and of course was Ivor Matthews. Those two together as they go into that first bend, this one does promise to be a very good scrap. Both of them had a win first time out. They'll be anxious to keep a maximum as they go through the point scoring legs. And of course you'll remember that Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones did put up the fastest time. Roger Measor goes through on the inside, and those Ivor Matthews goes a little bit wide. Looked to get a bit hairy in the middle of that pit bend, but Roger Measor has indeed got to the front as Ivor Matthews closes all the time. He looks to be having problems in the bends, Ivor Matthews. I wonder if he's changed tyres or whether he's actually got a slow puncture in that back tyre, because that back end does seem to be swinging out an awful lot in the middle of the bends. Oh, Roger Measor and Shane Lapham, no problems coming off that pit bend. I'm anxiously looking at that back tyre. It seems to be a little bit more under control this time. That back end really does look to be kicking out an awful lot on Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones' machine. A very, very smooth line for Roger Measor and Shane Lapham. Slowing it in the middle of the bend and then powering on the exit. They go into the last lap, leading from Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones, but they haven't lost contention with them at all, have they? They've stayed very, very close to them. There's a long, long gap back to Roy Spreadbury and Steve Kensington. They're holding third place in front of Steve Bassett. No, it's not, is it? 28 is Darren Bartholomew and Matthew Dix. But as we watch to see this last bend, Ivor Matthews closing right up on Roger Measor. He's going to let him know that he's very close to him as he comes to the line. Roger Measor keeps a maximum. He gets his second ride out and gets another win. Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones finishing second, and winning this battle for third place is Roy Spreadbury and Steve Kensington. Number 51, that's their second of the afternoon, Roger Measor and Shane Lapham. In second place, number 15, Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones. Third place, number 43, that's Roy Spreadbury and passenger Steve Kensington. And fourth place, number 28. The winning time, 141.81. 141.81, it's 51, 15, 43 and 28. And while we're waiting for the start of race 19, I've got a change to give you to the result in race 17. We've been informed by the clerk of the course that number 8 position I should say, number 22, won't feature in the results. So if you could exclude him from the results, it means that 501 comes up to 8th place. So excluded from the result, number 22 finished in 8th in race 17. It means now in 8th we've got 501. We go with race 19, and we're looking perhaps for number 17, Dave Steer, because he indeed had a win first time out. He goes straight through the front when you go into that first bend. This time John Halsey has made a much, much better start. He's up in second place. Dave Penfold up in third place, had a good ride first time out, so he'll be looking to get another good result as we watch to see them come round that pit bend. Dave Steer and Andy Orchard then. They had a win first time out, you remember. They'll have seen Roger Measor keep a maximum. They'll be going after him in the same way, trying to keep a maximum through the point scoring. It always sets you up well for those finals. John Halsey and Tony Miles in second place this time. Had a disappointing ride first time out. They're looking to make better of it this time. As we go into the pit bend with Dave Steer and Andy Orchard. They led from start to finish in their first ride. They look to be doing the same thing again. Dave Penfold not being able to make up any ground on John Halsey in second. Tim Bennett and Pete Watkins back in fourth place. Disappointment for our last place crew there with what sounds to be a very dicky engine. But as we see Dave Steer come off that pit bend for the third time, he's into his last lap. One more lap to complete to maintain that maximum. John Halsey has not been able to close on him at all, but he's certainly done enough to stay ahead of number 1, 2, 3, Dave Penfold and Tony Hayford. And it is Shane Lingwood and Trevor Garrard that have got what sounds to me to be problems with their machinery. But no problems at all for number 17. It's going to be his second win of the afternoon. So maximum points to number 17, Dave Steer and Andy Orchard. John Halsey and Tony Miles finishing second. Dave Penfold and Tony Hayford finishing third as Tim Bennett and Pete Watkins cross the line in fourth. In place number 13, John Halsey and Tony Miles. Third place, number 1, 2, 3, that's Dave Penford and Tony Hayford. In fourth place, number 12, and fifth place, number 74. The winning time, 1:42.59, 1:42.59. Well, we've seen two of our first leg winners come out and get wins, so we've got two riders on maximum points in the sidecars. No first leg runners, or winners I should say, going in this one. Chance then for Russell perhaps to make up on his second place first time out. He indeed leads as they go down that back straight, and it looks to me like Jeff Sims has gone after him in second. Penny Hook and Jane McLaren up there in third place. Well, they had a fourth first time out, going for third this time by the look of it, but Jeff Sims in all sorts of problems in that second. Well, I was wondering whether Russelling was going to change tyres or change gearing or something, because he still doesn't look that quick at the moment. He wants to see him go down the back straight. Well, perhaps I'm talking wrong, perhaps he does look a lot quicker as he speeds up going down that back straight. As Russelling goes fastest, he indeed is. That's what I hesitated there, because I think that sounds like my car alarm going off. Oh well. I suppose I better go and sort it out, really, hadn't I? Well, as you can see, we've got a win for Russelling and for Urycz, but a great scrap going on for that second place. Jeff Sims going very, very wide. Penny Hook has come through on the inside. A great ride this from Penny Hook and Jane McLaren to get second place. Well, my apologies for missing that bit of action, but I thought I'd better sort out the car first. Well, a great ride there from Penny Hook and Jane McLaren to come through for that second place. I could hear the crowd here cheering down the other end, and I could see exactly why when I got back here. Number 183, Ian Lee Amos. Well, you can see that both of those two go in this one, but you might remember that we had a lot of disappointing finishes with riders having problems. Well, looking for Ian Lee Amos, Tommy Palmer, you might remember, was one of those riders that had problems in this class, but he's right up there and going for a very tight line, Tommy Palmer. That'll be interesting to see whether that plays off. Tony Hayford is up in second place, number 139. But it is Ian Lee Amos who's got away. Tommy Palmer in pursuit in second place at the moment. Well, Tony Airy, our replacement, number 139 in third place. Tommy Palmer deciding that perhaps riding that tight line was not the best thing to do. Well, a good scrap going on for that 4th, 5th and 6th place. You can see we've got 4 riders fighting that one out. But as we look to that top bend, Ian Lee Amos going for his second win. Tommy Palmer, the rider that's trying to stop that happening. Tony Airy still there in third spot. But Tommy Palmer certainly looks to be closing up on Ian Lee Amos. These two no strangers to each other, of course. They have raced against each other an awful lot. And we'll watch to see what happens as they go into this last bend, because Tommy Palmer has gone for that wide outside and Ian Lee Amos has gone for the tight inside. Well, for some line, Tommy Palmer has indeed got the victory. Well, it's an interesting gamble that Ian Lee Amos made, because most riders have been finding more traction just a little bit wider on the outside of this top bend. Interesting to know why he made that decision. Well, we won't know, but we'll see what happens later on in the racing. Well, as I look across that far side, I can see that we've got one rider kicking away at his machine, obviously a loss of power. And I can see that Mark Bunting has pulled away from the start line as well. Well, all sorts of problems on the start line for race 22 by the look of it. Oh, I can see we've got yet another rider that's stalled his engine. That's one interesting thing with these 250s, that most of them have indeed got a kickstart, so they don't have to drag them away from the line. Well, as you can see going down the back straight, this was another rider that we saw have problems in his first ride, number 76, John Dormer. He again has got himself to the front, so we now keep our fingers crossed and wonder if he has sorted those problems out. Well, number 127, Dave Shilling is the rider leading that group of riders in second place at the moment. But no question about the leader, he's got a long, long way away from the rest of the field. John Dormer going well once again. He had problems in practice, he pulled out of his first race as well when he was indeed leading that. So we watch to see whether he solved the problems. He's just away from the rest of the field and he's quite sometimes back in second place. And interesting to see that number 176, Adrian Phipps, has done incredibly well. I say interesting because he completely missed the start. I think he was actually on the start line with a dead motor when the rest of the field went. He quickly got it started and has done very, very well to come through to get up in that third position. John Dormer goes fastest, leading though as we go into the last lap. And you can keep our fingers crossed and watch that machinery. He's still got that sucker, but I reckon he's going to be under pressure from Adrian Phipps as they go around that bottom bend for the last time. Watch Adrian Phipps close up going up the back straight as he indeed comes through on the inside now. Oh, that really has been a very, very good ride for Adrian Phipps. He, as I say, completely missed the start, and it looks as if he's going to get second. John Dormer completes the race, though. That's important because he needs to get a few results, as indeed Adrian Phipps does get that second place just on the line. Forcing David Shilling there to go over the base of one of the cones in front of us. I don't think that was a very good experience for him. 181. I'm sure you can all do that yourselves anyway, can't you? Just elevate them all up. 127 in third, excluded. We turn our attention back to the sidecars and looking this time to see whether Andy Norris has sorted his problems out. As you can see that we've got outfit number 2, Nevill, Penfold and passenger Paul Randall away from the rest of the field as a gang of riders get together in that first bend. Well, it does look like Andy Norris has got his problems sorted out. He's up in second place. Eddie Elvis in the chair for Andy Norris this afternoon. That's outfit number 31. Number 8, Rob Heath and Dean Bartholomew on that more speedway-styled outfit. I wonder if that is George Penfold's old one. Well, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Don't take any notice of me, but anxiously looking at that machine. I'm sure I've seen it out on the track before, but I can't remember who it is that actually rode it. Nevill, Penfold and Paul Randall then leading from Andy Norris, who looks to be getting quicker as the race goes on. It's just flipped now, looking at the back of that outfit. I know where I've seen that before. That's got to have been in the hands of Paul Penfold, hasn't it? Well, we look to that bottom corner as they come into the last lap. You can see that Nevill, Penfold and Paul Randall are not getting it all their own way as Andy Norris and Eddie Elvis. I was going to say close up on them, but it does sound as if that motor's gone off for Andy Norris. As he went past us, I'm sure you can hear on the far side, it really does have almost a single note to it. So we'll look at that engine as he comes round. You can see the hands going up in the air. We wonder if he can keep going and hold on to that second place. He didn't score very well first time out. Nevill, Penfold and Paul Randall have got the result they wanted, though. They've got a win as Andy Norris and Eddie Elvis coast to the line. And that does look very, very serious for Andy Norris. So you can see as he comes past us, he's got no power whatsoever. It's Nevill, Penfold and Paul Randall. In second place, outfit number 8, that's Rob Heath and Dean Bartholomew. Third place, number 25, Rob Wilson and passenger Will Jones. Fourth place to number 31, fifth place 112, sixth place 191, and the winning time 139.10. 139.10, 2, 8, 25, 31, 112 and 191. 24, and this one promises to be an interesting one because we've seen all the other heat winners from leg 1, apart from Rob Wilson and Vince Jones and Mick Cave and Mick Stace. They both go in this one, so a straightforward head-to-head between those two perhaps, or is somebody else going to get in there amongst it? Well, it's Rob Wilson and Vince Jones that have got away, as you can all clearly see going down that back straight. Well, interesting to watch the time perhaps on Rob Wilson. He looks to have the measure of this circuit. We know that Rob Wilson has got a good record here at the Tunbridge circuit. Oh, Mick Cave and Mick Stace establishing themselves in second. Number 77, Bill Beecham, and Jimmy Godsall in third place at the moment. But as I say that, you can see that might change as they go down that back straight. Oh, it looks like Trevor Colvin's come through into third place. But no question about the leader at the moment, Rob Wilson, going extremely well in first place. He looks to have been enjoying himself this afternoon. There's one thing about the style of Rob Wilson's racing. When he's having a good day, he really does keep it going and keep it on. But he has got a good record here at Tunbridge, and we wonder if this is going to be another one of his days as he goes into the last lap. Looking very, very quick indeed. Mick Cave and Mick Stace not being able to live with him at the moment, but still in a good position in second place. Trevor Colvin and Clive Miles have got themselves established in that third place, or have they? There's an interesting little challenge going on for that third place. All of them looking over their shoulder to see where the challenge is coming from. But as the checkered flag goes, it's another win for Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. They keep a maximum. Mick Cave and Mick Stace finish in second. And winning this battle for third place, it is going to be number 99, Trevor Colvin and Clive Miles. Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. In second place, number 5, Mick Cave and Mick Stace. Third place, number 99, Trevor Colvin and passenger Clive Miles. Fourth place, number 77. Fifth place, number 38, and the winning time, 1:35.53. 1:35.53 the time. It was 24, 5, 99, 77 and 38. So as I quickly add a 7-point score onto my very unofficial lap scoring, it means that we've now got a lot of riders getting very, very close indeed, because if I look at that quickly, we've got 3 outfits on maximum points, 2 wins from 2 races. But would you believe 1, 2, 3, 4 riders that have got wins and second places? So that's starting to get interesting in the sidecar competition. And I wouldn't like to predict who's going to win that final at the end of the day, the way they're all going at the moment. We turn our attention to the 350cc competition as we see the second leg rides for the 350s. It was indeed Dave Mears that won the first race. He's top of the tree. Mitchell Godden finished second to him, and as we look at that first second place, Mitchell Godden is pursuing him going into that pit bend. James Cawtheray I can see on the inside in third place. And looks like Jonathan Duke coming through into fourth place, but Dave Mears looking to stamp his authority on this competition as he comes round. Of course, the problem for Mitch there as he connected with one of those rather large cones. Oh, we watch to see them come round as they go into their last lap, and Dave Mears now trying to the rest of the field after a James Cawtheray still down in third, Jonathan Duke in fourth, and James Cawtheray starts to go forward, does he? Looking for an inside line on that pit bend. Well, it's interesting to see how the conditions are going to change as the day goes on. So a lot of riders were not riding on the inside of the track. They were trying to get more drive off the loose. But as we see the checkered flag going, Dave Mears is trying to look over his shoulder. Well, James Cawtheray comes through for second, no left on the line in front of Humphries. Sorry to say that you won't see number 9 featured in the results. He unfortunately went outside the track. It means we've got a result of a win once again for number 139, Dave Mears. In second place, number 169, James Cawtheray. In third place, number 25, Jonathan Duke. Fourth place, number 48, Brian Cornelius. Fifth place, number 16, Phil Roger. Sixth place, number 331. Seventh place, number 17. Eighth place, 27. Ninth place, 37. 10th place, 71. And 11th place, number 20. The winning time, 1:27.20. 1:27.20. Well, away we go with the second leg of the left-hand sidecars. A chance to see in action once again number 808, Luke Patchell and Julian Brown. And interestingly, I hadn't realised that we've got Bob Miles out there as well. So two outfits that had a win first time out there together, and it's Steve Farmer that's getting the best of it at the moment. He had a third first time out. Well, you can see what's happening on the far side. I was going to say that Luke Patchell actually had taken over the lead, but Steve Farmer come back at him going into that top end. Bob Miles in third place at the moment. Steve Farmer's riding a brilliant ride at the moment. Oh, Luke Patchell still there in first place, but Steve Farmer is right there with him. Bob Miles trying to keep those two in contention as he looks for a gap on the inside and goes up on the outside. Well, on the far side of the circuit, I should say, gets through into second place. And this could be a good scrap between these two now at the front, because Luke Patchell and Bob Miles have had a win for their first ride. Luke with all sorts of problems last weekend. He actually blew the bottom end of a motor last weekend. There's been some frantic work to get that engine rebuilt. And we're pleased to see that obviously Luke is back out again. But going well at the moment. This will keep him on a maximum if he stays where he is coming round towards this checkered flag. Bob Miles closing on him. Steve Farmer in third place. Afternoon, he said that it did look serious to us as he came across the line, and he said, well, the barrels and the crankcases are parted company, and it's not looking very well. So unfortunately for Andy, I know he's a long, long way to travel to get down here, and we hope that he can get that rebuilt during the week. As we look across the far side, and we're with still the second leg of the left-hand sidecar competition. Well, we've seen two of our first leg winners out. This time we've got the third. And going more, straight away up to the front of the field. Now I'm looking anxiously for number 126, Neil Cuff, because he had a second first time out. And I did notice that a couple of weeks ago when I was watching these guys that Neil Cuff was not making very good starts, but battling his way through as the race went on. They're back in fourth place at the moment. Humphries going well at the front. Tom Penfold and Bob Agar, number 24, desperately trying to get round number 251, John Arnott and Tony Doyle. Those two outfits very close together for that second and third place. No, looking to see whether Tom Penfold will go for the gap this time. Goes right up on the back wheel of John Arnott. For their last lap flag to be seen. One more lap to go. Well, my prediction of Neil Cuff coming from the back didn't come true, did it? That's. I'm going to have to make an apology to his pit crew, because it looks as if by me mentioning him, that's put the mockers on him. Coming to the line and seeing the checkered flag. We've got not taking Gary Moore, I take it. Tom Penfold and Bob Agar get second. They just get in front of John Arnott and Tony Doyle. And Neil Cuff finishes in fourth place. 0.90. As we look to race 28, I'm sure there's a lot of crews have looked at this one and thought that they can make up some good points from a disappointing first ride. Look for, in particular, number 2, Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw. They had a third first time out, but also having a third first time out, number 125, and George Penfold. And I do apologise that I don't even know who the passenger is for George Penfold. I'm sure some kind soul will come and let me know later on. But making the best of it is number 2, Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw, as they go down that back straight, leading and into this top corner. Well, we look to see where they're going to get all the way away. Off that one there. Bill and Nigel Shaw are the national champions for 1993 in this class. Graeme is the rider in second place. Number 151 is George Penfold, having all sorts of problems in that third place. We look to the far side, Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw. Seems an awful long time ago now that they won this national championship. Graeme Hilton and Goodwin going well in second place. They look to have well and truly lost George Penfold, who at the moment is managing to hang on to that third place, but as we see the checkered flag being made ready, it's going to be a win. His first of the afternoon for Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw. Graeme Hilton and Goodwin that takes second place. Penfold and Nigel Shaw. In second place, number 151, Graeme Hilton and Bert Goodwin. In third place, and this will impress you, somebody come running up here to tell me, George Penfold and Jason Glennie. In fourth place, number 307, and fifth place, number 69. 131.64, and thank you whoever that was that come running up here to tell me that it was Jason Glennie riding for George Penfold. Race 28, we see disappear. We go over the page. We're back, of course, with the 500s. Let's find another bit of paper, Jim, and find out what's going on in that competition. At the moment, we've got 2 riders on maximum. They are... this one, the one rider that's well up there is number 14, Ian Humphries. Duncan Tolhurst going well at the moment, number 74. He had a disappointing ride first time out and didn't get a very good result at all. Machinery problems for him. Tommy Palmer also trying to make up well here. He's gone well this afternoon. First time out, and I've only just noticed, I do apologise, that Kevin Buck is a long way down the field at the moment. He is one of our maximum riders, number 327. You can see him back in 5th place at the moment. Well, I was surprised to pick him up. I didn't think we had Kevin Buck or Rob Ledwith in this one. We've got a lot of work to be done. We've got Graeme Gordon just in front of him in 4th place, Tommy Palmer in 3rd, and Humphries in 2nd. That's all starting to change as Graeme Gordon goes through into 3rd place. Well, I'm wondering if Kevin Buck has got some sort of problem. He doesn't look to be slowing at all, but the riders he got in front of him is certainly not doing Ian Humphries in 2nd, Tommy Palmer in 3rd, and Graeme Gordon in 4th. That's Kevin Buck in 5th place. I'm sure Rob Ledwith is anxiously watching that one from the bits.